Alright, hello guys, welcome back to the Total Weather channel. Today we're gonna go over this major winter storm that will likely be also considered a blockbuster winter storm and is likely to bring a number of impacts, including snowstorm threat and as well as an ice storm threat in the south and mid-Atlantic. Now, before you get started here, I'd like to make sure you subscribe to this channel and like my videos, and including this one, for more weather content. And I hope you enjoy today's video. Today we're going to go over the GFS model, which does indicate an area of 6 inches of snow at least, and containing with it possibly locally a foot of snow in the mid-Atlantic. And there will also be an area of few inches of snow across the south before it kind of temporarily weakens across the Midwest and the upper south, and then it kind of springs back as a northeaster across the Northeast, bringing with it heavier snow there. And then as we go to the European model, you can definitely see that there is another narrow band of several inches. Actually, it's still across the mid-Atlantic region, but it's still got 6 inches of snow at least, and it's kind of narrower than it was in the GFS model. And so it's also farther south, and so it indicates that this band runs from central Tennessee and going to Long Island. And then there's also expected to be an area of a few inches across portions of Oklahoma, and then maybe a small band of heavier snow across northwest Louisiana, southwest Arkansas, and also for northeast Texas. So you got the ArkLaTex area in this mess here. And so you gotta prepare for storms like these, that they can be potentially serious and also track anywhere. So if the model's forecast 1 inch snow, but you get like 8, then that means it suddenly took a different track, and obviously you got bad weather versus the storm, which models didn't predict. Now let's go to the Canadian model. Now there is this narrow band again, but this time it just extends offshore and going into the Atlantic Ocean, and also as well as southeast Canada, which is where there could be a foot of snow in some spots, locally 2 feet. And then this storm kind of originates in the south, like it should probably at this point in time, with the Texas and Arkansas area also, and seeing like 6 inches of snow. And then this band of 6 inches or several inches, whatever you call it, in the mid-Atlantic does start from like the Virginias, and then goes offshore with the main band dropping heavy snow again in the southeast Canada region. And this snow in the south could potentially go as far as like 50 miles from the Gulf Coast. And it's also going to possibly go to like places like southwest Louisiana, southern Mississippi, central Alabama, and north Georgia, and as well as flurries, possibly, maybe, but I don't know for sure about this, to eastern North Carolina, also, like northeast North Carolina. And now as we head into the ice accumulation map, we can see that there are going to be some serious ice accumulations to deal with, especially across the mid-Atlantic, where locally an inch of freezing rain could accumulate and cause major extreme travel disruptions, specifically across the northern North Carolina and also southern Virginia's region. But that's where the heaviest ice could be. There's also going to be quite an ice storm across northern Louisiana and the southern ArkLaTex region, and also across portions of northwestern Mississippi and southeast Arkansas. But again, we're focusing on the mid-Atlantic, also known as the Virginia's region, where there could be an inch of freezing rain accumulations, which could be causing extreme power outages and as well as extreme travel disruptions that will likely mean that you shouldn't travel at all until the ice is gone. And then as we go to the severe risk, there does appear to be slight risk for severe weather across the south and southeast, starting tomorrow and lingering into Thursday, possibly into Friday too, but it will probably come as a lesser threat, unlike Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday's threat will contain southeast Louisiana and other areas along the Gulf Coast to Florida, and specifically the Florida Panhandle, but this is where kind of the highest risk is. The marginal risk does extend to similar areas, but it actually extends to southwest Louisiana then. Thursday's outlook does indicate a slight risk extending somewhat inland, and it goes to south central Georgia from the Florida Panhandle, and then maybe also far as southeast Alabama. And then the marginal risk then kind of rides up along the coast to North Carolina from also the Florida Panhandle. And then the threats with this also contain a few tornadoes, large hail, and possibly some damaging winds. And then one more quick thing I did want to cover was the warning map, which does indicate some winter storm warnings and winter storm watches, and as well as winter weather advisories across portions of the South and as well as the Northeast regions and the Mid-Atlantic. Winter weather advisories are in effect for western Texas and southern Texas, as well as much of Missouri and southeast Kansas and portions of southwest Illinois. And also lake-effect-related winter weather advisories for New York State, for eastern end of Lake Ontario. And the winter weather advisories are for the ArkLaTex region specifically, also as well as eastern Oklahoma, and then the Boot Heel of Missouri, and as well as most of Arkansas and northwest Louisiana. And then the remaining winter storm warnings for the current storm Uri is in effect for northern Maine, but it is now exiting the region as we focus on this storm, which will be named Viola, by the way. Winter storm watches are still in effect for Memphis area, including northern Mississippi, western Tennessee, a small portion of eastern Kansas along the Mississippi River, as well as central and far northeast Kentucky, as well as some but small areas of eastern Tennessee, and especially in the Smoky Mountains or something. And then also most of Virginia and western North Carolina, and as well as southern Ohio, and as well as much of West Virginia and Maryland, and then eastern Pennsylvania and northern central Jersey, as well as southern New York State, and then New England for western Massachusetts, Connecticut, much of Connecticut, and then Rhode Island. Okay, that is it for today, guys. I want to make sure you subscribe to this channel, and again, like my video and all my other videos for more other content. Bye, peace out, until the next time.